Another option we have is our Holla Hers, or we do have a Holla His in blue. This is a personal alarm that can go on your keychain. This is fantastic for kids who maybe can't have some of the other tools just yet because they're not quite big enough. They can keep this on their backpack or on a lanyard underneath their shirt. The alarm is 120 decibels, so it's really loud and it's going to attract some attention. It also has a light on it. So I'm really curious about this one. I know a lot of women have pepper spray, carry it with them. If that's you, if you carry a pepper spray, could you just let me know in the comments? I would love to know who already has it, who doesn't. One thing you do want to keep in mind with pepper spray is that it does expire. So you want to make sure that you're checking your pepper spray every so often, just so you know the date. If the date is not stamped on the bottom of yours and you can't remember when you bought it, you probably should just throw it away and get a new one. Because what's going to happen is instead of shooting straight out and hitting the bad guy in the face, it's going to dribble down your thumb and it's not going to do you any good. Because it's the expellant that expires and not necessarily the spray itself. So you don't want to put yourself in that situation. Make sure that your pepper sprays are up to date. Okay, so one of the things that you want to think about when you're going to use a pepper spray is you want to make sure it's not a windy day, because on a windy day, if you're not facing the right way, all that pepper spray is just going to blow back in your face, and that's not going to be fun. That's one of the reasons that we recommend layering your protection. If you have more than one item that you can get a hold of, you're going to have a better chance of finding the item that you need when you need it. When it's not windy outside, this is a fantastic tool. Pepper spray is going to affect all of their capillaries and their sinuses and everything. So it's going to inflame their entire face. It's going to make it hard to breathe. It's going to make their eyes water. It's going to make them snot and be super gross. But it's going to slow them down, and that's what you need it to do. So to use it, you're just going to flip it over like that so that the nozzle is exposed. When you're using your pepper spray, you want to make sure that you're using your thumb on the top and not your finger. Because if you're using your finger, it's going to be harder to hang on to, which means somebody else might be able to take it away from you a little bit easier, and you don't want that to happen. So use your thumb to give you a better grip. Also, again, your hand is already in a fist and ready to punch. You might want to think about carrying your pepper spray in your support hand, which is going to be the opposite of the hand that you normally use. That way you have your strongest hand to push away, to hit with, whatever you need it to do. Just something to consider. Again, I highly recommend that you take some training with your pepper spray if you can find a class in your area. Okay, I just have one more item I want to show you guys today, and that's a stun gun. This one is my favorite. This is called a Get a Grip. The one I'm showing you is going to be slightly different than the one that you'll probably order. And that's just because they got a makeover. They work the same, they're just a little slightly different. So I'll explain the differences so that you're not completely confused when you get your new stun gun. So to use your stun gun, you're going to want to make sure that you have the pin wrapped around your wrist. That's because this is a safety feature. It's a disable pin. So if somebody were to get it away from you and it pulls out the pin, now they can't use it on you. So to use your stun gun, all you're going to do is flip up the switch once. That's your light. Twice. Shows that it's red hot and it's ready to fire. Then all you have to do is hit this button right here. Now to charge your stun gun, you're going to have to do that once a month for about 8 hours every time. I usually stay up late one night and put it in right before I go to bed, and then when I wake up, it's ready to go. Now on the older style, the charger is built in. They're no longer built like that, so you're going to have a little USB port, and you're going to have a charger and a cord that comes with it. So all you have to do is plug that in and stick it in the wall. The new ones also have a battery indicator light, so they're going to be, I believe, 4 dots. I might have to double check for you, but there are 3 or 4 dots that will show you how full your battery is. So you're going to know whether it's almost a complete charge or if it's almost dead. You want to make sure that you never leave the house when your stun gun is at an almost dead charge. It's not going to be effective at all. Now, I do want you to know that a stun gun does not work the way that it looks in the movies. It is not going to make them flop around on the ground like a fish. It probably is not going to make them urinate themselves. That's just not how it works. What makes the stun gun a really good tool is the sound and the reaction that somebody's going to have when it's pressed against their skin. A stun gun can be painful, but it's not going to be painful for very long. It's only painful while it's on the person's skin, or maybe a little bit after, but not painful enough to stop them completely. What this is it's going to give you an opportunity to get away from somebody. Because what happens when I press this button, first of all, they hear that sound and it kind of makes them jump back, right? Second of all, when you touch them with it, it does cause some pain and it causes the muscles to contract really fast and really hard. So their natural reflex is going to be to jump back a little bit. That might cause them to let go of you long enough so that you can get away. That's why we always say to stun and then run, because as soon as you're free, you need to start booking it. Someone who's going to be looking for a victim is usually looking for an easy target. So just by having this and setting it off, if you see someone that makes you feel very uncomfortable, it's going to let them know this is not an easy target. You're going to have to make sure that you have a warrior mindset. Tell yourself that if you ever get in a fight, you are going to win because you have to win. All right, guys, I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions about any of this, I would be happy to answer those for you, so please ask away. Now we get to do some shopping. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next post. Bye.